Hi guys, I'm Emerald. Welcome to my studio, and today I have a recommendation video for you guys. This video is going to be split into two different budgets, $50 and $100, and I didn't want to just like sit here and go through all of these beginner art supply kits that you see everywhere. I wanted to think, if I had $50 and I had to go to Michael's and buy an entire new setup and make a painting, how would I spend that $50? Hence this list. A lot of these beginner kits are still like pretty expensive. They're like 35, 40 bucks sometimes, and they have such awful brushes and paints. Not even a professional can make them work. Why would you give somebody who's just starting out painting these horrible supplies? They're gonna think that they're awful at painting or that painting's like this horrible thing when it's really not. It's just the materials that are getting in your way. So with that little disclaimer out of the way, let's begin. For our first category, brushes, I would recommend one of these two options. Between the two, I love Liquitex Basics. Royal and Langnicklel, they're also a really good quality brand, but Liquitex Basics, I adore. They are really good multi-packs and they're organized by size. So if you know that you want to create bigger pieces, buy the pack with larger brushes. If you know that you want to create only tiny little paintings, buy the tiny pack. And there's really good options in between. The actual shapes of their brushes are so good, and I have brushes that are like almost 10 years old now. Brushes are one of the most important things when you're painting. I bought this as probably a 24 pack on Amazon for like $8. They're just awful. They leave streaks and hair in the painting, and I pretty much spent $8 to have 24 non-usable items. I want you guys to avoid that. Do not buy a huge multi-pack that is too good to be true. Moving on to canvases. Brands don't matter too much, but the only two differences to me are canvases or panels. If you want more bang for your buck, go panels. The only downfall is that you have the chance that your paints will crack. If the panel morphs a little bit, then your painting will physically crack. With canvases, they're a little bit more like flexible and the paint gives a little bit more. Canvases also can be punctured though, so they're fragile in their own way as well. There isn't really a wrong option. It's more, would you rather paint 24 paintings that are like kind of deemed a little less good quality, or 12 paintings that are like higher quality? But it's really kind of just like a pretentious art thing, and you really don't have to worry about that for quite a while. Another thing to factor in is size. You can get 2 large canvases or 10 small canvases. I recommend starting small. It takes less paint, which is less money, and also it takes less time. Huge paintings take so long, and also they tend to require more complexities to make it look like an actual good painting. When you have small paintings, you can paint just like a bike, and it looks super cool because it's like this tiny little canvas. But if you were to just paint a bike and it's like 3 feet tall, you would have to add so much little details and things to make it more dynamic, and I feel like that's just not something that you want to be worrying about when you're first starting painting. So I recommend starting small. Anything between 12 inches and 6 inches, perfect. And lastly, the paint set. And I have a specific paint set that I recommend, and it is the Liquitex Basics 12 pack. I adore these paints. They're such good quality. They go so far. It may seem like this tiny amount, but I have my original set from when I learned how to paint in like 3rd grade, and it still has product in it, and the product is still actually usable. So for the $100 list, the brushes and canvases stay exactly the same as my $50 recommendations, but I would personally spend a little bit more money on paint. Either I would buy the 48 pack of these little guys, the Liquitex Basics, or I would buy the 24 pack and then add 5 of these big boys. I would choose the 48 pack if you are really interested in trying a lot of colors. They are much smaller, so you are gonna run out of them faster, but the nice part is that if you run out of a green, there's 8 different greens in there. And also the nice part about that is you get to try a bunch of different colors that you might not if you had a smaller pack. So reasons I would pick the 24 pack. This 24 pack actually has really great colors. I don't think that you you would ever use this and kind of have that feeling of like missing, like, oh, I wish that there was a lighter orange or darker blue or anything like this, it's very, very well rounded. I would go this route if you have your eye on fun colors and you kind of already know the palettes that you're drawn to. Some of my first big boys that I bought were like neons and kind of more out there colors like this, because I already knew that I loved these colors and I really wanted to paint in them. It's also a good opportunity to maybe just buy the primary colors and then a white and black, just to have a little bit more of a traditional experience. Or also, if you know that you want to paint really large paintings. If you're painting large paintings, then you will eat through these. But if you're painting, you know, under 12 inches, then you're totally fine. But if you know you want the freedom to paint something bigger and not use up every single one of your paints, then I would definitely go in that route and buy some really solid colors. But yeah, those are my 2 recommendations. If you can buy that 48 pack with also the 40% coupon, it is so good for the money. That's what I did for my first set. And like I said, I still have so many of those colors. Yeah, those are my recommendations. I thought of this video a little bit of like my strategy when buying art supplies, because there's a lot of stuff that you don't really need. But let me know if you guys have any questions or want any reviews. I've used like most of the student grade quality paints and I have all of the opinions on them. I've used everything from like the cheapest, most basic ones to like heavy body professional quality. So if you guys want a review on that and dork out about paints with me, then I would love to. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful and maybe feel a little bit more confident when you walk into Michael's, because I know that there are so many options and it's really overwhelming when you first start. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and goodbye.